Of course, congratulations are in order for Edna Kiplagat and Paul Tunui, making Kenya proud all the way in Moscow. Let's bring you back home. And the state has assured investors in the mining sector that it's not at war with them. Deputy President William Ruto backed the revocation of mining licenses awarded this year, saying the government is keen to sanitize the rules guiding mining in the country to ensure mining profits trickle down from the investors through national government to counties and their residents. Ruto says the revocation was sanctioned to curtail rogue business of selling mining licenses by primary companies to third parties without the actual mining taking place.
The acrimony surrounding the revocation of 43 mining licenses threatening confidence in the sector has caught the attention of the state. Deputy President William Ruto has moved to forestall a possible backlash in the sector.
Tuna vita na investors. We want to ask every investor who is interested in doing business with the people of Kenya that it must be regulated, it will be in law, and everybody must follow the law.
Visiting Kwale, one of the counties endowed with minerals and the bedrock of the Cortex Mining Company, which has declared war on the Mining Cabinet Secretary Najib Balala, the Deputy President defended Balala's decision of cancelling the licenses. Ruto says rogue sector players were minting millions if not billions of shillings by reselling the licenses.
Huyu anauzia huyu, mwingine anauzia mwingine, mwingine anauzia mwingine, na hakuna chochote imefanyika kule. Watu wanakula pesa, wananchi hawamo, serikali haijui.
Balala has locked horns with Cortex Mining Industry, one of the firms whose licenses were revoked. Directors of Cortex describing Balala's action as that of sour grapes after they refused to part with 80 million shillings bribe they allege Balala wanted.
I have never met a minister like this for my last 21 years of doing business. I have never. He puts a gun on you here and says, unless you give me this, I'm going to cancel this.
My track record is very clear on issues of corruption. And if it's money, I don't need money.
We are going to be firm. Resources, national resources, must be exploited in a way that benefits communities, counties, and the people of Kenya.
Cortex obtained its license March 7, 2013, but the Cabinet Secretary doubts the veracity surrounding the license acquisition. Balala claimed the firm exaggerated valuation of its exploration in Mrima Hills shortly after the firm announced discovery of minerals in Kwale. And government says its action is to sweep clean any rogue underhand businesses in the mining sector.
We saw the hype of the findings. Overnight it changed from 5 trillion to 52 trillion. I was told this was to put pressure on the government not to take action on this company.
Wengine wanapiga nduru ati fulani sijui nini. Haya ni mambo ambayo hayana msingi wowote. Tunataka kuhakikisha kwamba everybody follows the law. Na kama mtu hana ile ya kuficha, basi afuate sheria. Lakini kama mko na ya kuficha, hiyo ni shauri yenu.
Despite Cortex threatening judicial redress, the state is steadfast that only qualified companies will be issued with mining licenses upon successful application. Samogina, KTN, Nairobi.
You're watching Saturday Night Live, and we do apologize for the sound quality in part of that story. Let me take you all the way to Kisumu now, and legs together, face sideways. That could soon be law regarding how women sit on motorcycles or bicycles in Kisumu County. A member in the Kisumu County Assembly has proposed a motion to have women from the county barred from sitting on border borders with their legs apart facing the rider. KTN's Sophia Wanuna has the details.
Motorcycles and bicycles are a common feature in Kisumu County. Commonly referred to as border borders in the lakeside city, men and women alike use this mode of transport. But if a proposed motion in the Kisumu County Assembly becomes a bylaw, women in Kisumu will have to sit on the border borders in a particular way. The proposed motion seeks to bar women from sitting on motorcycles or bicycles with legs apart, facing the rider.
Piki and boda boda has now brought a culture that is really demeaning to our women.
County Assembly member for Kisumu North, Caroline Owen, told the House that the seating position that at times includes women holding on to a boda rider is uncultured. She argues that women who sit with legs apart on bodas are exposing their bodies.
If you go to Uganda, the motorbike is the chair is made in a way that it is comfortable for a woman to sit comfortably, facing the side, concealing herself well.
The proposed motion says that women should only sit facing sideways like in the good old days. It is a motion supported by most area residents.
Zingine umebeba msichana yenyewe amejivaa, hata wewe mwenyewe ukiangalia unasahau hata vile unaweza ukaendesha pikipiki.
Kai kama ameangalia kijana, saa nyingine ni mtoto wake, saa nyingine ni mtoto mjukuu wake.
Nafaa wakae side na nguo wavae nguo refu, ama skati kuwe refu kika kwa pikipiki. Kwa pikipiki sio gari.
The recommendation was made during a debate on a report on culture. Sophia Wanuna, KTN.
That is a debate that I'm sure has just started. Now, tonight we highlight the cry of a minority community that lives in Voi District, Taita Taveta County. The hunter-gatherer community that numbers about 400 people depends on game meat and could be among the few bushman communities remaining in Kenya. Members of the community have expressed concern that they have for long been despised and discriminated by other communities. In fact, they claim some of their neighbors have refused to marry their daughters. KTN's Patrick Omimo has more on the Watha community of Taita Taveta, who share close ties with some Cushitic communities that inhabit Kenya.
Song and dance, original pieces from their culture that they have refused to let go of. They are members of the Watha community, one of the few remaining hunter-gatherer communities in Kenya. They live in Maungu village in Voi District.
Hali yetu ilikuwa ni kukula nyama, kuua ndovu, kuua faru, kuua mbogo, kuua tiga, ndio chakula yetu.
The Watha are kind and loving, but hidden in these happy faces is a deep feeling of hopelessness and despair. It is almost an endangered tribe, just about 400 of them left here, and they have been forced to endure negative stereotyping from some of their neighbors. They want to be recognized as Watha community, but some of their neighbors continue to refer to them as Wariangulo. That nickname is offensive, for it means people who like eating tortoise.
Sawa, ngozi ni sawa. Tuko tunaongea Kiswahili, tunaongea sawa. Sasa hiyo ndio inatuumiza sana, kwa sababu wanatuambia sisi ni Wariangulo.
Wakamba tunaelewana, Wagiriama tunaelewana, Waduruma tunaelewana. Lakini kuna kabila nyingine una uchokozi ya kichini chini.
Sisi ni Watha. Na sisi ni Cushites. Jamii ambayo tunaongea nao lugha moja ni Boran, Orma.
Though dressed in modern clothing, they still occasionally practice the ancient method used by the early man who discovered fire. They rub sticks on a wood plank to produce fire through friction. It is a laborious way to light fire, but the strategy maybe helps inculcate the culture of pulling together for the common good. The smoldering pieces are delicately put on dry grass and blown to make a fire using light twigs. During this visit by the KTN crew, we found them performing a traditional marriage ceremony. According to the community, the bridegroom is supposed to go and take his bride from her home before taking the parents who later hand over the girl to her would-be husband. But then, if we intend to marry one of their beauties, you will be required to light fire the traditional way. The community bursts in celebration when the man successfully lights the fire for his wife to cook. The Watha are marginalized and poor. They say they also lack representation in government at the smallest unit. They have missed out on education and employment.
Katika shule mazingira hayaruhusu kwa sababu ya matusi na kupewa jina mbaya. Kwa hivyo inabidi hata mimi wakati wa kuchukua kitambulisho nililazimishwa niseme mimi ni Mpokomo.
Zekana kama serikali au NGOs zijaribu kulenga hawa watu kwa upande wa kuwasaidia upande wa bursaries ili waweze kusoma.
The community has appealed to the government to enact policies that will end discrimination and give the community more representation and participation in decision-making process and bring them up to speed with other communities. Patrick Omimo, KTN, Saturday Night.
A British national has been found dead inside his car at Kasaurina, Malindi County. Gregory Graham Parsons' body was found by a G4S guard who reported to work for a night shift. In what is suspected to be an act of suicide, Paul Odhiambo says the deceased was in his car. A hose pipe had been fixed in the car's exhaust pipe and through the driver's window. The deceased also had a black plastic bag pulled over his head. Those who were first on the scene claimed they found a suicide note.
Nimeingia nikafungua gate, alafu nilipoingia nikachukua ufunguo kama kawaida, lakini nilipata kama taa zinawaka juu, ni safety lights, ambapo si jambo la kawaida kwa mzee. Nilipozunguka pengine nilikuwa nadhani mzee anaoga kule nyuma. Nilipozunguka kule nikamkosa, nikaanza kumuita boss, where are you boss? Hakuna respond. Alafu baadaye ndo nikabofya alarm. Nikishabofya alarm ikaja respond. Ndo baadaye mmoja wetu akafungua mendo ya mlango pale gari iko, ndo tukaona mzee ameshafukia tuko ndani ya gari.
All right, in many parts of the country, when a woman's husband or father dies, she loses all hope of ever inheriting land from him. This has been blamed solely on culture, where most women are alienated from such rights. But in this story we are bringing you today, a woman's struggle has seen her late husband's body stay in the mortuary for 4 years as her neighbors fight her for the land her husband left behind, preventing her from burying her husband. KTN's Najma Ismail tells the story.
68-year-old Wilbroda Abonyo is a bitter woman. Her husband, Cosmas Otoro, died 4 years ago and his body still lies at Butula Mission Mortuary. She has not been able to bury him on the family piece of land after a dispute broke out over the ownership of the parcel.
Wanangu alikonjeka mwezi wa 10, ilikuwa tarehe 4. Alikufa mwezi wa 2009 mwezi wa 4.
Immediately after the demise of her husband, the 8-acre piece of land where she calls home sparked a land conflict with a neighbor who claims to have bought it from her late husband.
Sasa hao watu wananisumbua, wanaita huyu ni mjomba yao. Na hii shamba mzee ndiye anakufa, anasema wewe mtoto yangu mtoto wangu mdogo ubaki hapa ukae kwa kaburi yangu. Mzee ananiwacha kama natoa nyumba nilijenga hapo. Na sasa wao wanakujanga tu kunisumbua bure. Ati wewe anachukua shamba yetu usika mtu mwingine. Mimi wao siwajui.
The case, which is at the Busia court, has now attracted the attention of local authorities.
I would put it mainly to two things. One, perhaps the culture, where land tends to be associated with men.
Even now with the law that girls can also inherit their father's property, especially land, you get the very women saying, no, I cannot go fighting with my brothers over land. And it is because they have no role models. They have not heard of any other woman in the area who has actually gone and claimed the father's land together with the brothers. So we need role models.
The mortuary charges for Wilbroda's late husband at the hospital has reached 1 million shillings and still rising by the day. Najma Ismail, KTN.
4 years at the mortuary. Let's hope she can get the chance to bury her husband and, of course, get her land back. Now, insecurity is a major concern for many residents of northeastern Kenya. So high is insecurity in areas like Garissa that residents have taken it upon themselves to deal with the problem. But tonight, we bring you a unique story of a man who has decided to become a hunter for guns. Take a look. 72-year-old Osman Aden is an old man but with many responsibilities. His day starts early, taking care of his first obligation, his 130-year-old mother, to ensure she has fed. Then Mzee Osman sets out to his other newly acquired obligation, that of ensuring that he and his neighbors are safe. He collects guns, illegal firearms from residents of Garissa town and its environs. And this is the mode of transport, walking long distances to his destination, and how he convinces them to give up firearms. He talks to them, and it's the only way of ensuring security. He believes in dialogue. The exercise normally proceeds to late hours, and he has to bear the cold in the night during his endeavors. His fear that he may even be attacked by wild animals.
Garissa amewawa inne tatu, hata hawa hawezi kununua sukari kwa dukani, na bigwa tu na uwawa, na tunashindwa polisi sababu gani na uwawa.
And once he succeeds in his mission, the first stop is the police station, and this gratitude that he may have saved a life is his satisfaction.
Garissa has been calm so far. We've not had any incident, and that has not come in a silver bullet. It's through the members of the public who have assisted the police to do that.
He believes dialogue is enough to end insecurity in Garissa, his statements lauded by area OCPD. Like many residents of Garissa, his dream is safety, and if walking long distances will make his dream come true, Osman is willing.
Kitu ya kukodisha mimi nimekosa kwa sababu mimi naenda tu mguu, siku tatu mimi iko kiu sana.
Agnes Penda, KTN, Saturday Night Live. You're watching Saturday Night Live. Thank you for staying with us. We are taking a short break, but we have lots more coming your way.